What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Second Street Marvel for the Saturday comic book chat thing. I don't know what we're calling it, but I went ahead and I called it this time. I called it in. What did I call that? I called it Into the Garage, the Saturday comic book live stream. Right, Into the Garage. It sounds, hey, it sounds cool, right? I don't know. Going to the old garage.
I thought it was an indie book we were going to talk about that I didn't know about.
I like that. See, that keeps it fresh. People will think like, "Oh man, what's this indie comic book coming out?"
Yeah,
yeah.
We're talking about X-Men and a new Vault comic I didn't know about. I was like, "Oh, cool."
Yeah. Kind of what it like what I got the channel name from was like where I grew up at. Like my friends, they lived on this on 2nd Street back home.
Okay.
And that's kind of where we all hung out and everything, and so that's why I came up with 2nd Street for the 2nd Street Marvel on there. And Marvel at first I was kind of like, okay, it's the comics, and then I was like, well, I guess it really has to do with more than just that, because it's not just that, you know what I mean? So because I've thought about rebranding and all kinds of stuff before and just never done it. And then part of what we used to do though is that when we were hanging out at my friend's house there on 2nd Street, was we hung out in the garage.
Mm-hmm.
A lot, sit there and smoke weed and drink beer and all kinds of other shit. We were teenagers.
Yeah.
And, that's what we did.
Where are you from again?
Huh?
Where are you from again?
Kansas.
Oh, okay.
Kansas originally. Yeah.
2nd Street.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's kind of some of the a little bit of background, a little bit of history there for all of you out there watching. It looks like we've got 8 of you here, guys. If you're here, make sure that you smash the like button. You're supposed to give us likes and stuff. It helps. It helps us grow and stuff. You know what I mean? It helps us in the YouTube algorithm because we're going to be big YouTubers.
Hulk smash the like button.
Yeah. Hulk smash it or do whatever you feel you need to. We've got Chaos and Comics here. Oh well, I guess he's here on the show with us. We got Aloys. I'm sure I messed that up. Aloys Doddle. LB, the Lonely Banter. Rose Sachs is here. Aloys says first time catching a Saturday show. Awesome. Well, thank you for being here. Gary North here as well. Thank you guys so much for being here. And I'm sure soon enough Dylan will be here. I'm sure he's just busy up to something. So what have you been up to, Chris? You get your all your issues read this week?
No, I haven't read everything yet. A lot of the indies I actually haven't read. So I got the X-Men stuff read. I haven't read this. This is what like Dylan, a lot of people are talking about.
Yeah.
Hellfighter Quinn. I haven't read that yet. I did read the Sumerian, which is
nice.
Yeah, which is a little bit weird because it's Conan but not, and Marvel has a license, but they sort of don't.
What do they call him? Is it Conan instead of Conan?
Yeah, it's spelled the same way. You're supposed to pronounce it differently. No, I guess so. What this is so Marvel does have the license from like Conan International or something, but they got into this weird little battle because this story, the Queen of the Black Coast, is in the public domain, and Conan is in the public domain of like most of the rest of the world. So I think this is a French comic book that was translated, and then they went and they're like, we're going to print it here, and then then Conan International fought with them, and then so they agreed to just call it the Sumerian, and it was able to be put out and not Marvel. So
nice.
Very strange.
And Wookiee Supremacy is here. Thank you for being here. And I want to say you're welcome for preventing you from going down that rabbit hole. We all know how tempting it can be sometimes, but sometimes it's okay to just break the wrist, walk away. Break the wrist, walk away.
So what happened? Wookiee almost got in a Twitter.
Yeah, you know that old twatter, man. That's how it gets over there.
Yeah.
T News says hello, fellow Kansan. First time in your live stream. Came to say hello from the beautiful state of Washington. Nice. Oh, okay. I believe yes. I believe I know who this is. Yeah, definitely from. I believe you're from the same hometown. I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Nice, thank you for being here. And yeah, what's funny is my sister is actually up in Washington as well. She's up a little over an hour north of Seattle. So yeah, awesome. Thanks for being here. Wookiee Supremacy says, I'm gonna get the boot in no time, I'm sure. Once again. So oh, here we go. We got our third member here, Dylan's Comics here, and if you guys see Perry Comics, let me know, because I actually invited him to see if he wanted to come on the show as well. Maybe I should just go ahead and send him the link anyway, just in case.
Yeah, if he pops on, then it'll be almost like just his stream, except on your stream.
Yeah, right. But be careful with the language you use. You're saying if I send him the link, he may pop on. You're getting a little erotic there for me, and I'm into that.
Don't be a Vernon. Don't be a Vernon.
You know what's funny is that was my father's name.
Oh yeah, well, I'm sure your father was good, but don't be the other Vernon.
But yeah, well, because it's funny. The other day I was going to say something, but I was too busy working. I was watching JB's stream when they were doing. I think they were just doing like some of the comic book auctions, I think. And he was rotating people in and out. He's like, okay, well, that's all good. That round's done. I'm gonna pop you in the back for a minute, and I was gonna get on there, and I was gonna leave a comment, and I was just gonna be like, ooh, JB, calm down. You're getting me all excited talking about this popping in the back stuff.
I'm dead.
So how you doing today, Dylan? How's everything going, man?
I'm all right. Woke up like late as hell for some. I mean, I didn't work the last like 2 nights, even though they tried to get me to come in. I was like, hell nah. Yo, it would have ruined all my days off if I would have came in. They called me 2 days in a row. That would have ruined all my days off. I'm like, nah, I'm good. I just ain't.
What, you didn't want that? You didn't want that overtime?
It ain't even no overtime, man. It's just the same pay. That's the thing. If it was
weird,
I would have done maybe one of the days, but yesterday I couldn't. I was just way too tired. Like yesterday, I didn't sleep all day. I was up. I woke up at like 8 a.m. and I was up the entire night, or the entire day, and then I was still up till probably like 3. So I was just, there's no way I could have done it. I was so exhausted. I'd have been falling asleep at the job.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But, yeah, man, I've been good, man. Just hanging out. I had a couple of days off, so I've been able to just relax and chill, man, and read some books, man. So that's all I wanted, man, was to just. I read Wolvenheart. I read all 5 issues of that, and
oh, I'm missing that.
Yeah,
I didn't know a new one came out.
I didn't read that one. I don't know that my comic shop really gets any of the Mad Cave books in. I don't think I've noticed any, but I think next month is when RV9 should be coming out with trade paperback.
Yeah, because the last issue comes out, I think, in 2 weeks.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to ask them to order that in for me, to trade on that.
Yeah, I want to read this today. It's
in previews.
This is supposed to be really good.
Oh, I've seen that.
Yeah.
There was a little bit of a. Is that Mad Cave also?
Yeah. That's all
they did. There was
I read my books, and then all I'm doing is reading some Mad Cave because I got a couple trades from them.
Yeah.
There was some controversy on this. I read like 2 pages, and tell me.
There wasn't controversy. It was just like it was one of those books that was like a hot book when Comic Tom was doing the top 10, but it was weird the way they did it. It felt like they, I can't remember the whole story, but it was like, why is this a hot book necessarily? I'm not saying Mad Cave did it, but it was just like it was one of the books that people were pointing out that maybe that top 10 list was fixing the market a little bit. And then you didn't hear anything else about it. Like then people stopped talking about it. No one was reading it, I guess. But I mean, I heard it's good, so hopefully it is.
It's probably one of those books, man, that just went on. That's a good book, great, because everybody I hear, they're like, my one buddy who's a huge Mad Cave guy, and he's like, dude, I was like, what should I start with? Because I got all the trades. I was like, what should I start with? He's like, dude, read that Knights of the Golden Sun. I was like, all right, bro, I'm gonna start with that one. Like I read the single issues I already had, so I caught up on that. Well, I didn't read RV9 yet, but I was like, so I got that issue 5 coming next week or whatever, so I'm gonna just read all 5 at once. So I flipped it.
Yeah.
Oh man, the artwork is crazy. I feel like that's what it's probably because it's probably one of Mad Cave's like first books they've done. So it's probably like it was probably like under the radar, but it's a great read. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
The artwork is insane, man. Let's see.
Mm.
Oh, let's get on. There we go. Nice. Yeah.
It's nuts.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's like it gives you like that realistic fantasy type feel.
Yeah.
Like not completely realistic, but you know what I mean? Almost like a video game or something. Like that fantasy video game or something.
Yeah. You need to work on that autofocus, bruh.
I know. Well, it's supposed to autofocus as is. Goddamn camera. I got it on autofocus, so I don't gotta play with that shit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was and I see a couple people in here already talking about Cape Pryde. Do you guys want to go ahead and get into some of that talk already?
go ahead. I actually, I like missed it when I read. I was like wondering what the hell these husks were. I'm like, what the hell are husks? I should have looked it up. And then somebody, thankfully, comic community's always telling me what I don't know, which is awesome. But
oh,
yeah.
you're talking about because they can't bring her back.
Yeah.
Like the husk keeps whatever's happening. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
So
Brony made me think that she was back or something in that issue because I would talk to them and I was like, I haven't read 2 books, Marauders and Flash, and he's like, yeah, you get the Cape Pryde stuff. I was like, oh, so she's coming back. And I read it. I'm like, Cape Pryde ain't in this shit.
Yeah, she's been dead longer than I thought she would be. I thought once they showed her dead in that issue that we talked about like a month or 2 ago, I thought we would get. I mean, I thought it was going to be like just okay, she's back alive and that's it. You know what I mean? Like she didn't actually die or something, but they're holding her out. And there's an issue coming up. I think it's like issue 11 or 12. I'll go check. I mean, she's dead on the cover still. So I think that they're going to really string it along.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Definitely. Do you remember which issue was it that they and I can't remember that they were talking about like the resurrection protocols and all of that kinds of stuff.
What do you mean the protocols?
Like where they were talking about the 5 and when they were basically bringing everybody back to life. I can't remember which issue that was.
I think it's like Hoxpox 5.
Okay.
It was one of the later Hoxpox issues where they start talking about egg and all that stuff.
Yeah, because there's some interesting things in there that I kind of wanted to talk about, and I want to see if I can bring that up on here to kind of show and go through a little bit. Man, what's going on with this thing? Come on. This thing making me mad.
What are you trying to do? Bring up that actual comic?
Just oh, okay, here we go. It's going through it. Yeah, pretty much see if I can find where they're explaining some of this stuff, because they're talking. I remember in one of the issues they were talking a lot about the resurrection protocols, and they were specifically talking about the 5. And they were talking about how the 5 work together to hatch, to create the husks and all of that stuff. And they were talking about the morale. They were talking about the morale of the 5 when they were going through, and how basically them working together, it boosted their morale. They started working and they started being able to resurrect people faster than they thought they would be able to, because everything was on the up and up and their morale was good and they were, everything was all gravy. But here we can already see where they started talking about that they're already down on themselves. You see, I mean, it was very, very apparent in that book that they were talking about, in this latest issue, where they were all looking down, they were all sad and their morale was down. And I'm wondering what that's going to do for them going forward.
So you're saying because they can't, because they're failing at bringing Kate back.
Right.
So it's Hoxpox 5.
Yeah.
It's let me see. Shit. Yeah, in House of X number 5, it looks like that's what it is.
Yeah.
Because Magneto and them are explaining.
Feels like so long since
Huh?
Hoxpox.
So it's been almost a year of this crazy Krakoa thing. It's funny how some people are really hating it. Like I listened to a few comic book podcasts. I'm like, man, I'm surprised how much people hate. I mean, I guess I'm not surprised. I was actually surprised how many people liked Hoxpox when it was coming out because there was like this egg shit or stuff. Sorry, and there's like all this egg stuff, and they're gonna go to an island and they can't die. And like I was like, and then when everyone was liking, I'm like, man, how are all you whiners not like getting angry at this? This is like perfect thing to get angry for. But now it's starting to come out.
Yeah.
Which is fine. I get it. I mean, this is a huge, this is a huge like change, but
right.
Whatever. I'm trying to find where it says something about morale, Trinity.
Yeah,
if you want,
like 2 long boxes worth of story.
I'm looking through the books here online. Where they were talking about that because I'm trying to find where they were talking about that because they really went into depth about the 5 and the rebirthing process, and I'm wondering if that wasn't in House of X and Powers of X, if that was in one of the other issues.
About what? The morale?
Yeah, because I can't remember where they were really talking about all of that, and I'm wondering if maybe even an X-Force.
I was gonna say they also talk a lot about it in X-Force 2 when Jean has to figure out how to bring Professor X back. Also, the second that second issue of X-Force that happens also.
Right.
Yo,
see if I can.
Was it just me, or did Jean Grey look hot as hell in that Marauders issue?
You know what's that art didn't do it for me. That art was sloppy.
Parts of it were, but Jean Grey, I think
it was supposed to come off that way. She's supposed to look like a little sloppy girl hanging on the hood of the roof.
Yeah, and I actually thought about that too. I'm like, yeah, I guess that it does kind of play pretty well, but I think just I don't know. It was just that art altogether throughout the entire book. Like it kept like completely bringing me out because like there was so many different looks of it. The biggest thing for me was Emma Frost in the issue. She looked different in every single panel of the issue. She looked different.
Yeah, she did. They probably could have. The art was okay, but I see where it would have taken you out. This is what Dylan's getting crazy about. This drawn woman right here. Should be reading your mind. Should be like.
When I looked at it, it looked better than that. Yeah, wait.
You walk up to.
Maybe it was just
this is funny. I mean, I thought it was funny. Because they were clearly that didn't happen. Like who likes Pyro?
Right.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the hell is going on here?
They should really get some lame characters and make them like date the bigger characters just to like piss people
the hell off. It didn't. Yeah. I was just like that. I was thinking like, what the hell is going on here? Pyro? Like next she's gonna be trying to date me.
Yeah. A lot of that stuff was pretty hilarious. Man, I wish I could find that on here already where they were going through that. Man, which series was that?
Well, seeing my.
Go ahead.
I'm reading, dude. I mean, we're just gonna read. Let's let the chat know we're just gonna read comics quietly.
We're gonna read some comics here for you guys. And enjoy it. Enjoy it while you can. We're not going to do this very often here on the channel, so
every now and then we'll like do a grunt.
Man, it's just because I wanted to go back and find where they were talking about all those resurrection protocols and how the morale of the 5 really the way they work synergistically and all started like how great it was, but then because it kind of left those seeds where okay, if things aren't going so great, then things could actually end up being. I mean, could they get worse? Like, could they be bad? I just don't seem to find it in here anywhere.
Like if they're So what you're saying is because they essentially, let's just say that it is there. We don't have to find it, because then you're going to find it and be like, here it is.
Right.
So let's say that they did say that, or someone in the chat can look if they're cool, because Trinity has no respect for you guys and has decided to not prepare beforehand. But assuming they did, you're saying that this could hurt some of the resurrection stuff because they're not able to do Kate, so they're going to slow down on other stuff, and then to some extent, you can maybe death starts mattering more because people will be gone a little bit longer, right? Is that what you're trying to say?
Yes.
I think that'd be cool.
Essentially that's what it comes down to. And I swear I can't. I'm gonna have to. Maybe I'll make a video talking about that, because they did really talk about how they were working together, and at first it was slow. They weren't sure how long it was going to take to basically to repopulate, and then all of a sudden, once they seen how everything was working, they started working good together. It's essentially has a lot. Like, I really understood it because that's kind of what I did. Like in my, I guess you could say, my former job was I worked a lot with those kinds of things, like working with people, trying to get them to work together and everything. And then
mutants,
talking about that in that issue, I really got that. And then how all it takes is one little thing, one little monkey wrench in there to all of a sudden derail everything. And all of a sudden in that issue, in this week's issue, we've seen that they were like just completely like they weren't happy. they were really down on themselves.
That's funny because I mean maybe the art sucked. Sorry, Dylan. Maybe the art sucked that bad. I didn't even see that they were down. So I have to go look.
Well, let's see if I can find that here. Which it doesn't look like I can. Man, what's going on with this thing?
Oh yeah, you're right. They're all sad. It's like, look at my guys, we're sad. We can't resurrect Kate. We're gonna resurrect her as Kitty.
There's a couple of spots so Emma looks weird, and then there's some spots where she looks hot as hell. But like, I swear Pyro got blown up when
he did.
But he's back in the next panel, so I guess they just resurrected him. But then Magneto pulls.
No, it's a dream sequence.
Yeah, well, they were messing with Yellow Jacket.
Yeah,
that's what they were planting in his head for him to think that.
Okay, that was
like I mean it's
that with the Jean Grey stuff.
Yeah, I mean it's an awesome scene where he explodes and they think he thought he was free. But really, she was messing in his mind. So none of that's true. I mean, this is why this is not true. You know what I mean? This was all happening. This was all happening in Yellow Jacket's mind. They were screwing with him. So Pyro didn't explode, and he didn't. Whatever words I'm looking for. My brain's not working right now. And he didn't get resurrected. He's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I think there's a lot going on there with that, as far as like the 5 and how that's going to affect Krakoa going forward, with the 5 being affected by this thing. I think it's going to have a profound effect on the stuff that's going on here.
Yeah, I mean, then that had to. It's funny because Kate is alive in so many other issues. And you'd think, though, if the 5 were really having trouble, they wouldn't be doing the Crucible. Like, we didn't talk about that last week because we did the preview show. Right. But you think about the Crucible, you think they'd be like, okay, we can't do the Crucible right now so that you get your crappy powers, Arrow. So.
That was
so maybe
Crucible.
Yeah, that issue was the shit. That issue was awesome.
And people who are like talking down on X-Men, which is a lot of people. I know Jabroni's always calling it hot doo-doo water. I'm like, bro.
He hasn't read it since 3.
1 and 2 all you want, bro, but read this issue 4. No, hot doo-doo water. I'm like, yeah, okay.
He might not like 4 either. He got a little thing to say. Like, it made people laugh, and then he's just going to stick with it.
Yeah.
But I think X-Men is now my favorite book. I think it's my favorite book over X-Force now.
Dude, I think so too. Because it's been fire ever since 4. There maybe 5 was okay, but 6.
5 was awesome, dude.
Yeah,
where they go into that vault. It was confusing, but it was awesome.
I was trying to think what 5 was.
I think for me, X-Force is still my favorite. out of all of the series. Marauders it seems to be picking up. I mean, and I don't know, just the way it's flowing is really nice. I think it's flowing a little bit better in Marauders and X-Men. It's about time that they step up with that series for sure. Because
I think it has been.
Issues were like, ugh.
Yeah, I didn't like them a ton. I didn't like this. I mean, I liked issue 2, and people forget that some cool stuff happened there. But now I'm starting to feel what Hickman's doing, and I'm getting like the little shots. Like that's his style. It's almost like this one-shot style, right? And now it's like starting to come together where every issue feels pretty important. Like, oh, I really should know something about that. Or when I don't know whatever history he's talking about, I should go really look that up, kind of thing. And the Crucible was awesome. So I'm starting to really feel it. And it's interesting because when you read New Mutants and it's so like, I still like it, but it's so like janky, and that's by Hickman also. But it's like lighthearted and silly, sort of. It just feels like a different writer almost.
Yeah, well, we get that back. I didn't like that Brisson issue as much. The last Brisson issue, and that's so messed up because I've been loving what Brisson has done with New Mutants too.
Right here,
it was weird.
Says it perfectly about this issue in Marauders. He says there's a panel where Emma Frost looks like a 12-year-old, and that's exactly what I thought. Like the art in this week's Marauders was just so like. I mean, don't get me wrong, it wasn't Fallen Angels. Simon Kudransky inconsistent, but it was pretty damn consistent. Yeah, like look at that. Like, what's that all about? Yeah. Yeah, and look at Bishop right there. Look at Bishop, dude. Where's your chesticles at, bruh?
Right, he's all neck right there.
Yeah, he's all neck and he's all skinny. He should be
I see one pouch.
And you know what? There are a couple things I want to address before we continue. Okay, Dylan, you know we're all cool and everything. You can curse on my channel, but don't do like you did on Perry's stream the other day and start stripping in front of everybody.
I didn't.
I seen that shit the other day where you start trying to show everybody your dingling like this is like magic show or some shit.
Never.
Come on, bro.
They were trying to tell me I was in my underwear, man.
I felt like I was getting ready to go down on you.
I was just trying to prove a point that I wasn't in my undies, man.
The community is very sensitive right now about dingling flashing.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, right.
It's a sensitive time for all of us in the community.
Yeah.
And Chris, no more drinking. You were being mean last week. You were calling all the viewers antis and everything. You're just a big meanie, bro. Are you drinking more? It's gonna be a Diet Coke.
It is a Coke. But I mean, listen, my wife also said that I was mean last week. But I'm telling you, it's not the alcohol. I'm just a jerk. I'm just an asshole. I tried
going through something.
Fair enough, because I got you back at the end of that last stream.
Oh, you did. I popped in right as you were closing.
The next day, the music stream.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Did you get complaints, or did you just review it and went, man, Chris is being an asshole?
No. I was just laughing about everything. It's been fun, man. It's been a funny week, man. It's been fun.
Well, I'm gonna go get a beer.
All right, fair enough.
In a second.
All right,
maybe an orange.
And so we can kick you off the stream for a second. Captain Pennsylvania,
Dylan,
Krakoan Gate to the comic shop.
Bro,
hell yeah!
Did you see this little 12-year-old is like into new titties?
Yeah, and what's with that? Yeah.
No, I didn't read that. I thought that said titles. Did that say titties?
Yes.
No, it says titles.
That's awesome.
It says titles.
It does say titles. Okay.
Oh,
yeah.
I swear. Okay.
Dylan thinks it says. He goes, "Look at this 12-year-old." She's not 12 either, but this 12-year-old says.
She looks like it though in that panel though. She looked like a little 12-year-old.
She do.
I love it that Dylan read titties and then he opened it and read it again. Didn't see titles at all.
No, dude, I did the same thing when I was reading it. when I was reading it, I did the same thing. I'm like, what's she talking about titties? And I was like, no, they spelled wrong. And I'm looking, I'm like, did they just misspell that? I'm looking, I'm like, okay, yeah, no, it's okay. It says titles.
Yeah. Well, I didn't read it that way, chat. So as much of an asshole as I am, I'm not a creeper like these two.
PM says there's nothing wrong with the 5. Watch Domino get resurrected, no problem. It's just Kate. Yeah, no, and PM, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with the 5, but what I'm saying is I'm gonna have to go through and find exactly where that's at, because they do actually say in one of the comic books, they talk about the morale, their actual morale in working together and their bond in working together, and how great they start working together, and how much faster they start pumping out mutants, if you will. They specifically talked about that. I'll have to see if I can find that, sometime here during the show while we're doing this. And I'll be saying it had to do with print copies, because this crappy digital crap online doesn't want to work. Cyclops.
Dylan could be Wookiee's comment of the stream so far. Dylan could be a successful cam girl. You could join.
I could
find Dylan on his OnlyFans account.
There is one.
That's funny.
I could start. I should make a new account. Get me, and then I don't have to work at a gas station no more. And I could. Yeah, I might have more time for you fellas.
Have you ever seen the movie Detroit Rock City?
Long time ago. I know it though.
I'll just
a porno star.
I'll give you the advice that he gives him in that movie.
Yeah.
Just shake your wee wee.
I haven't seen that in a long time either.
Hey,
so you were off last night, Dylan?
What did you say?
You were off last night?
Yeah.
What happened to I felt bad. I felt like Perry no one was going on with Perry very much yesterday. Were you on a different stream?
No, yeah, I was on Scarpads. Like he did like a horror stream, so I wanted to.
Oh, okay, you were on there.
I go on Perry. Perry's got the 1K. My guy Scarpad only got like 100, so 150. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, I saw that. I was gonna end up joining, but I was just so tired last night. I don't think he didn't even send me an invite.
It's because Perry's a mean guy, man. All he does is get on and talks crap about people.
No, he did. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but Perry just drops the link in the chat still. I asked him if he was going to still do that. He goes, yeah. He goes,
oh, my God.
Next thing you know, you're going to get all kinds of weirdos on in your back room. Maybe he wants weirdos in his back room.
He likes that. He likes controversy.
Yeah.
He wants to feel like not the weird one. He's like, let me get a bunch of weirdos up in here so that I can look normal.
Right?
Oh, that's pretty smart. That's what Trinity's doing with us.
Hell yeah. That's exactly the strategy, man. The strategy. Let's see. And I'm telling you, I want to find where I'm gonna find that stuff. We're gonna talk a little bit more about that.
So I think PM is more right. I mean, seems like Domino gets resurrected every other issue in like 3 different comic books and whatnot. I mean, I don't even know what I think. I have to think about it now, because you're right. They made it a point to make them look sad, but yeah. I don't know that it's involving Kate though. Like Kate, they're doing something else with, and I think she's dead for like another 4 issues at least. I thought I saw that. The Marauders last solicit. That's the one shitty thing about solicits or the one terrible thing about solicits is I'm just going to cuss and then say a sentence without a cuss word. Like we're just going to do that. So I break even.
You're good.
The one terrible thing about solicits is that like, if you're flipping through, sometimes even if you don't read them, sometimes the cover is a spoiler.
Right.
And now I just, spoiled it for everyone, because there's an issue coming up where Kate's like, they're doing a funeral for her. So they're going to string that along a little bit longer. But I am curious about the morale thing. Maybe we'll see if it involves Kate or something like that. But you're right. They did make it a point to make them look sad there. So let's talk about the Crucible.
Yes.
I think that's good. So now that we're into it, and I know we've talked about this a little bit before, but are the X-Men bad guys? Are mutants bad guys now? Like, what was going on there? Is that okay?
Well,
and I think that, they were doing Cyclops and Nightcrawler as, the A and B to sort of like soften it a little bit and say that there is some moral stuff going on. But I mean, in general, what do you guys think about the Crucible? And are the X-Men bad? Are mutants bad now?
Well, for me, I think when it comes to good and bad, it's always subjective, to what exactly the situation is. Because right now you could easily call them a bunch of, just exactly like Sue Storm called them. They're a bunch of racists and segregationists. Plain and simply, they're doing that. They are.
Yeah. Well, so, literally, if you ever go to like a white
anybody else.
No, because if you go to like white supremacist stuff, they're always like, "Give us our own country." I was like, "You're not gonna get your own fucking country."
Right.
You know what I mean? But that's essentially what the X-Men did, right? They're like, "We're just gonna do this island that no one owns because it is a mutant. And we're gonna go live there." So, I mean, they seem to be bad to me. I like it because I'm on board with Hickman, and I just like that we're just doing his sci-fi book. It's and working the X-Men into it, but. How about the Crucible? And I thought it was a good choice to have Nightcrawler as the more famous religious X-Man to sort of filter what was going through there.
Yeah, he wants to start a church. Oh my God, that's
where it got weird. At the end is where it got weird. Yeah.
I wonder if that's what his one shot's going to be all about. I'm guessing, maybe not, but I feel like it might.
Yeah, well, it's going to be a lot of thinking about whether all this is right and wrong, and then maybe his mutant religion, which is really weird because now you're going to make Nightcrawler not Catholic. That's a little bit weird. That's like a big change to his character.
Yeah,
right. Yeah, there's a lot of weird things going on here, and we've seen they've even talked about how they're all like as they're resurrecting them, they are changing themselves as well. They're making the improvements and everything to make them better mutants than they were. So we can see that they've been doing obviously experimenting with a lot of that too. So they're essentially changing who they are as people too. So there's a lot really going into everything that's happening. as far as a lot of those things.
Captain Pennsylvania says mutants aren't bad and they're just a nation now. That's what I was saying. That's what I was saying before the Crucible and before like the way they acted around the Fantastic Four. But now it's starting to be like bad's the wrong word, but
that's like
maybe it's the wrong word. But they have a new set of morals that is clearly at odds with a lot of the rest of the Marvel universe, and probably even like the way we would think today if a group of people wanted to just separate and make their own country, which Israel sort of did, I guess, after World War II. But let's not get into that. But so yeah, that's all I got to say about that. But the Crucible was violent. I think it's really effed up that if some if you get one of these terrible mutants that really have like crappy powers, like Arrow, who I didn't even know, I had to go look her up. And why, of all people that are going to kill you, why is it Apocalypse? Like, you're just going to get crushed. You know what I mean? Why wouldn't they just have someone nicer, do it? What is it?
Maybe that's what it is. They're just like, okay, like if you want to do this, we're going to give you like no fighting chance. Like you got to go out there and fight. You're going to have to fight for your life. And I think because through the course of that is, I think just the situation that's being presented there, knowing that it's a no hope situation, people wanting to face that, I guess, that fear and that challenge in order to actually be reborn and resurrected, because I doubt it's ever going to be a thing where he's just going to, if you just go out there and don't attack, he's probably not just going to outright kill you because that's too simple, right?
Yeah. Who are you talking about? Apocalypse?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, but he was talking shit to her too, at the end he was proud of her, I guess, but yeah, the Apocalypse being there is really weird too. And it's really weird that Wolverine's like, Omega Red can't be here, but then Apocalypse and Sinister, they're like fine with it. Yeah. Yeah. And I think Omega Red was a good guy for a little bit. So at least he could be good. A while back, someone in the chat, like Southern Comic Geek, when he was in the chat a few weeks ago, he remembered all that stuff. But it's like, yeah, I don't know. I love the Apocalypse stuff, and I keep saying I'm on for the ride. which I am because I'm enjoying it. But it is really weird. If like X-Men fans, the X-Men fans that hate it, I sort of know where I'm starting to feel where they're coming from, essentially.
Right.
And I know the three of us, you know, we've dipped in and out of X-Men and whatnot throughout the times. And I mean, that's probably why we like it. So obviously from a business perspective, it worked because we do almost a whole stream every week about it.
Yeah.
But that was intense, man. And Cyclops actually acted a little bit more normal too, you know, when they were going back and forth. So, I mean, and I think that's why I like X-Men the best now, or I'm starting to. Maybe I'll still say X-Force, but it's like every issue that it's coming out from, you know, that Hickman's doing in X-Men that's really like sort of driving the kind of things that we're seeing. Like I could talk about it for a long time. I could talk about the issue before that too with Mystique. We talked about it for a good amount. You know, the way that's mixing up and the way and what Destiny is going to have to do with all of it, you know. So it's just getting better. That comic is getting better, and I sort of knew it would because they're not doing arcs. We're just getting those one shots. So I've enjoyed it a lot, including the weird ass Crucible.
Apocalypse looks dope as hell with that big ass sword.
Okay, I think I found it here, guys. I think I found it. I found it, guys. All right, here we go. Bam! Right here, Resurrection.
What book is it?
This is House of X issue number 5. It says no.
I have it here.
Extensive testing has been shown that the mutant resurrection machine, the 5, is not operating under duress or fatigue or even massive exertion. It appears that the more they do this, the stronger they become and the easier the process becomes. The experience has been described by all 5 as incredibly blissful, not in a narcotized kind of way, but in a manner more akin to total fulfillment. Additionally, these 5 mutants appear to have become inseparable family unit and are almost never apart from one another. Their symbiotic process appears to have extended beyond the union of their powers and the mutants themselves. Some of this could be physiological, as on Krakoa they are universally revered, not as celebrities, something achievable through works, but cultural paragons, something sacred to be treasured. Gosh, I remember. I thought there was.
There's more pages to that. There's more resurrection stuff on there.
Yeah, and I mean, there is. And here's where they go into currently. Mutant resurrection takes around 48 hours, and they kind of go into the times explaining. And you know, there is some other pages here where they're talking a lot about the genetic base, the host, the mind, and all of these different things as well, and how they all work. But I do think a huge part of it is, like they're saying right there, about them working all together, about them not being under duress or fatigue or massive exertion. I think the fact where I seen in there one of the comments, I think from PM was saying that they had only failed right here. It's the first time that they've failed, and I think that point. What PM is saying there is nails exactly home my point, where they haven't had any problems whatsoever yet, and by the time it comes to that, that's when it hits them even harder, because they've known only nothing but success, and by the time you have that first failure, it's going to hit them, and it's going to hit them hard, and it's going to affect them. And that's why we've seen in that panel where they were all looking down on themselves, and I think it's going to make them second question themselves. I think they're going to start questioning what they can do and everything like that. I think it has a bigger impact than maybe PM is thinking about. And I know this just from being in team environments where we've worked for things like that, and then something comes in and like totally throws a monkey wrench in your plans. And it may not be a long-term thing, but it is certainly a hurdle that's going to affect them in the short term that will have rippling effects for a while.
Yeah, I mean, I'm interested in seeing if that's what happens. So, and I mean, the way you pointed out, I just don't know that's going to involve the Kate stuff. I think they might be doing something different with Kate, because that's, you know, the Sad 5 seems more like something that would happen in the X-Force or the X-Men book. You know what I mean? So we'll see.
Yeah.
I guess I could point that out then maybe that I thought the art was okay. I don't like very cartoony art very much, but to be honest, I didn't notice until you just mentioned it. I didn't even notice that they were depressed or anything like that.
Right.
And Dylan, he just stuck on that page with Jean Grey on the what was that, a Camaro? What was that, a Firebird?
He's busy looking at boobies.
Yeah, he's all, man, this issue's great. Jean Grey's looking hot in a Firebird, and a 12-year-old wants new titties.
Right.
Out of context for any new people in the chat.
Blood and guts all over her, looking hot as
And blood and gut. Oh, the blood and guts thing was awesome, where she was looking hot, and someone exploded on her.
Yeah, definitely. At least it was one of the panels where she didn't look like a 12-year-old in.
Yeah,
I'm thankful for that.
I mean, dude, she gets hit with the thing, and all you see is the chest. You know, they're like, get a load of that chest.
Yeah.
It's goofy, man.
The chat's talking a little bit about this.
All over the place with this one, and they brought back Mateo Lally. I was surprised. I was like, oh, we're gonna get some good artwork again, but it was all over the place. It's definitely
the chat's talking about a little bit about Empire. Is anyone buying that?
I don't think I'm gonna. Empire? Is that a Marvel event?
Yeah.
Oh, nope. No Marvel events.
Yeah.
Don't do it. Save your money, people. Wait for trades. This is where I'm going to back Chris's whole thing up. Wait for the trade, bro. Wait for the trade.
Yeah. I think that's it.
Don't give them your money, man.
I think they're taking your money. I think
Kevin says, Kevin, because they're talking about how Knoll and Empire might mix, as far as I could tell. But Kevin from 1-2 Comic Talk says, being a symbiote slut, I'm wet in anticipation for Knoll. So am I, but people are bitching. People are bitching that he's taken too long to get here. I'm like, dude, let Donnie tell his stories. You know what I mean? Let Donnie tell his stories.
Dude, he has it all planned out.
You know what it is? You know what they're going to do? Is they're going to do the Marvel thing, and they're just going to forget about the fact that they were even doing that. You ever heard of that J.J. Abrams Spider-Man? What happened to that?
They're waiting for it.
Well, I mean, it's J.J. Abrams. He's just, and his son, they're just going to write it when they want.
Yeah.
But DC did the same thing, though, with Batman. With Batman and Ra's al Ghul.
Yeah.
What's his son too busy with?
Huh?
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that, man. Like, sometimes that's some of the stuff that drives me absolutely crazy. Is, you know, just something like's going on with this Spider-Man thing with the JJ Abrams. Like, okay, we got one issue, we got 2 issues in a row. All right, and then they skip a month, then the 3rd issue comes out, and now what's it been? 2 months since we've had a book
on 3, bro.
Yeah, it's gonna be going on 3 soon.
For what, the Spider-Man book?
You know, the 4th book, yeah. And
well, I mean, they're not. I mean, Marvel's actually been pretty good lately for not being too late.
Yeah, and the thing is, like the story's not that great, bro.
No.
for me to make me wait it out, like seriously, like they're giving me MCU Tony Stark in this comic book, and I just I don't really like the MCU Tony Stark in this book. It's just kind of and
old MCU Tony Stark. It's like an old ass MCU Tony Stark.
I feel like it's a love letter to the Abrams JJ and his son's relationship. You know, I think that's all that it is. And then I was reading Amazing Spider-Man Daily Bugle, and I think that book is really only a book about the J.J. Abrams situation with Marvel. I think that's all it really is.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Have you read that Amazing Spider-Man Daily Bugle?
No, I haven't read any Spider-Man.
Total cash grab. It's not even about Spider-Man's in it, but it's not about Spider-Man. And Spider-Man isn't even Spider-Man in the book because he's not a genius. He has to look to some other kid to examine his web fluid and this other web fluid that's killing people. And there's this writer who is she's the niece of, is it Robbie Robertson, who's the publisher of Daily Bugle? And she's just going out there smarting off, and you know, because she's got a Twitter following and a Facebook following, so she's a real journalist. And dude, it's pretty bad, man. It's pretty bad.
Why are you reading all the side stuff? You're reading like Gwen Stacy, Mary Jane, Daily Bugle, Abrams.
Because
you just love Spider-Man.
I've got to have some books to bitch about.
He's got
Okay.
It can't be all great books, you know.
Yeah.
He goes for those because he wants to. He
Yeah,
knows what they want to
Listen,
hear. They want to
some
hear a
motherfucking-
little hype.
What about some motherfucking
They wanna
sword
hear somebody
master?
going
Yes,
hype.
yes. You know what? That's a good one. Swordmaster. And have you been reading Arrow?
I'm like 5 issues behind on Swordmaster, but I kept buying it. And when I got an issue behind an Arrow, I stopped buying it. But I did buy that Atlantis book. It's okay.
Yeah.
These should Swordmaster is the best one in my opinion, but these should be better. You know, Greg Cox writing them all. He could be hit or miss. That one's
they
dope
should
right
be. And I would say the thing is with the Swordmaster and Arrow is buy the trades on those, and I guarantee you they read way better in trade than they do in single issues.
Well, Swordmaster reads great. That's freaking awesome. That's freaking awesome. But did you buy the trade for Arrow?
No. I've been reading it in single issues, and just from what I've been reading, I know that it'll read better. Like because you're getting more of the story. Because it seems like through both of these books, the story is a little slower moving. It's developing a little bit slower, though they are new characters. So I'm totally accepting of that. But
are you reading Agents of Atlas too?
Huh?
Are you reading Agents of Atlas also?
I haven't been.
Oh, that's the bigger one. That's the one where like the main story's going with Pan and that city and stuff like that. So yeah. I had a Filipino guy that was coming on my channel a lot because I was reviewing those at the beginning a lot. Dude, I had a couple actually. I mean, Filipinos love Wave, and I don't know why they haven't given her own book yet. Like it's actually a big thing in the Philippines, the Wave character. Yet all we're getting is a bunch of Arrow and stuff like that. But anyway, enough of the comics that they're only shipping 2,500 of.
Yeah. I forgot. I was gonna ask you about the Crow Leaf, how you thought it was. 1, 2 was good. But
yeah, I haven't read it. It's one of the books I haven't read yet.
Swordmaster. I thought all that stuff was gonna be like horrible, but Swordmaster was the one that I thought might be actually good. So what about the Crow?
Yeah, dude.
So
I haven't read it yet,
actually.
Dude, I love the art in Swordmaster.
I've been waiting to find out if it was good.
Yeah, the art in Swordmaster is pretty legit too. I like the coloring and everything in it. It's a pretty legit book.
What is?
Yeah, Swordmaster.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Kevin says the Crow's good. I'm sure it is.
I'm about to read the Swordmaster, but I'm wondering about this Crow Leaf.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing with the Crow, like the Crow could only be so good. And the old school Crow by James O'Barr, it was awesome, but it was awesome because it was like a shit show. Like it was a guy like he was being like a pre-edgelord essentially, like in the 80s or 90s or whenever, you know. So the Crow is like this really simple idea. So if they're gonna make it good, I'm excited. But I mean, for me, the Crow is just like something I loved when I was a kid, as the movies and stuff like that. So when I saw that pop up, I grabbed it.
Yeah.
So if Kevin says it's good though, maybe it is. So me and Kevin tend to overlap as far as opinion pretty well. So just got here. Kate Pryde isn't dead. If she's in the Wolverine comic, because Wolverine #1 takes place after Marauders 9. If you read the memos, you could tell. Yeah, they are screwing up the timing. That's for sure.
Yeah, and see,
but it's comics.
And that's the thing with that book. I was like, I kind of felt like that story was told in different times, like maybe in 2 separate occasions. Because I feel like at the beginning we see that Domino wasn't all jacked up, like she had been resurrected already, or had not been damaged yet, as she got caught in X-Force issue #1. So I was kind of wondering, like, did some of that happen before, at the beginning of the Dawn of X series, and then it fast forwards to later in the series, or how that works? Because the timing there of that does seem to be a little bit different, a little bit odd on the timing.
I was not reviewing Filipino. I was not reviewing Filipino people. That's funny.
You think he is right Wolverine? So Kate Pryde is alive in the future?
Guys, I wouldn't try to be like the comic book guy from The Simpsons on this one. I think you should just leave it to annoying comic book situation BS, and they probably just got timing off wrong, and Hickman isn't too worried about it. Like I think it's just a mistake. So, I mean, some people get mad at that. Like Chillmonger, he's a cool guy, but he gets mad at stuff like that and deaths and stuff.
Yeah.
He's a reviewer. He seems pretty cool, but at the same time, I'm like, I mean, I just read comics for too long. That shit never falls into place. So
we need to get we need to reach out to him and get him here on the show if he's available one of these days too. Chillmonger, he is a great dude, man. I like Chillmonger.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I like him too. He's awesome.
He's good. I mean, sometimes people get too intense on like disliking stuff.
Yeah.
So,
he's definitely not an alternate universe person. He don't like all the alternate universe kind of stuff. Like he probably wouldn't like the Spider-Man noir.
He doesn't like that stuff.
I don't think he's as into all the alternate universe stuff. Like he likes like the main continuity stuff. I wouldn't say he's necessarily a continuity junkie, but he definitely likes like the main like continuity kind of stuff.
The 616. Let's jump to noir. I think you and me are the only ones that are reading it that I know.
Yeah, I read the Fantastic Four noir, and I wish I would have got the Grimm. Yeah, I wish I would have got the Spider-Man because that's actually noir, and the Fantastic Four wasn't the Grimm. So such a waste of $5.
Some people love that book though. I didn't buy it, but some people loved it.
Yeah, they said it was a good story, but they were still pissed as hell about it not being a noir.
Oh, not actually being in that world.
Yeah,
This artist is one of my favorite new artists right now. I love him so much. He did the Art and Punisher Kill Crew, that Juan Ferreira.
Yeah,
he did the Art and Punisher Kill Crew, which was awesome. A lot of people didn't read that.
I never read that. I didn't read that series. I didn't either.
It was awesome. I heard Kill Crew.
Worth it for the art, Dylan, alone. And then Kill Crew was pretty awesome. It was really out there.
This book is great on the art. This Spider-Man noir, the art is great.
Yeah.
The only thing, like, I didn't completely like the story. It was just kind of, it was decent. It was okay. It wasn't terrible. It wasn't great. Like, it was good.
I'm there with you. It's just, but I think that it still has. I think it still has promise, Trinity. I just think it was too much of a setup story. Like it's one of these. The writer's a lot like Teenie Howard, actually, where over 6 issues maybe I'll like it, but if I'm like going individual issues, there's like the first 2 issues are probably going to be too much setup and rising action. But I'm with you. It was okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was hoping. I mean, I guess I didn't. And then the thing is, I didn't have high hopes for it or anything anyway. I just wanted it to be. I wanted it to be what it is, at least decent. And it was a pretty good first issue. I wouldn't say it piqued my interest to want to read the second issue, but it makes me curious to read a second issue for sure.
Yeah, I'm buying it for sure, just because I'll buy anything with Juan Ferreira now. I also like Spider-Man Noir, and I don't think it's. I think you're right. It's not going to blow me away. I can already tell the story is just going to be like a basic noir story or whatever. But it's good enough, and I'm not buying it. This is the only Spider-Man I'm buying aside from Venom. So, what are you cracking up?
LB says this is funny. I was going to bring this up too, because LB on his stream says, "Yeah, we're going to go watch Trinity's live stream later. They talk about comic books, and we're going to watch Dylan sit there and chat on his phone for 90 minutes."
Right there. I'm hands free, dog.
LB says Dylan looks so engaged.
I am. I can't talk about noir. I can't speak on something I didn't read. I'm sorry.
Banter's funny. I was watching his. A lot of these guys. I mean, I don't know what they're talking about because they're responding to other videos and stuff, and I'm trying to watch more. But I was watching Lonely Banner today before the stream, and he was cracking me up. I can't even remember what he was saying. Yeah, but he was making me laugh. So
yeah, LB's a great dude, man. He cracks me up, and he just keeps it real, man. And that's what I like about LB, man. He don't mess around. He don't fake any of his stuff. And today was actually really good because he was talking about kind of switching up content. Wanted to do some different things, and and some of the stuff he was bringing up, I'm like, do it, bro, because like, look at Young Rip of 5'9", one of my favorite content creators with like some of the things and conversations that he does with his stuff, because he does like comic book content, he does political content, he does things talking about different stuff. It's like, do what you like. We just want to hear your views and your opinions on this stuff. And, you know, don't be afraid to take on the issues. Like today we got into like gun control and a little bit of politics and everything. And nobody in the chat got crazy and ridiculous or anything. And I think that kind of speaks to not only the people in the chat, but also the person hosting the show as well. But yeah, LB is a great dude, man.
Which stream was that? I started the longer stream. Is that his last stream?
It was the one that he just did it this morning, right before this stream. A little bit before this stream.
Oh, I just didn't get far enough into it, so.
Yeah, probably so. But yeah, it was a good.
Is it weird? Is it weird that we're talking about him in the third person, but he's in the chat? Like we're like.
Yeah, but I don't know. Is that a little? Is that weird?
Probably
for
not.
You guys?
It's pronouns. It's pronouns.
Okay, you know what? Before you know, because I know this could go long sometimes. Have any of you guys read any of these books from these Upshot Nows?
No, I haven't even seen them.
I have the issue. I didn't get the issue 0. I got issue 1 and 2, but I still haven't read them.
Yeah, I was gonna say I didn't get issue 1 and 2. I got issue. I've got this 0 issue, which has a lot of the same stuff from issue number 1. And I've got issue 1 and 3. I didn't get issue 2.
Yeah.
But these things are basically like trade paperbacks for $5. They've got black and white previews of all these different books in there. But
they're like issue 1s though. They're like whole issues, just not.
Yeah. And I didn't get through all of them, but I did read. I got through this The Resistance here. This first one written by J. Michael Straczynski with art by Mike Deodato Jr.
Yeah.
And it seems like this company kind of sprung up overnight and really made a push and kind of, I wouldn't say flooding the market, but like making a push in the market for these books out there. And
Dude,
I read this Resistance issue number 1.
1 week.
Huh?
They have 4 titles coming out in 1 week.
Yeah. So yeah, they're making a push, and I read this one right here, this Resistance issue number 1, and I thought it was actually pretty good. It's kind of it was crazy because like there's this disease that kind of started spreading, almost like what's going on right now. But this disease started spreading, like it was spreading fast, just like through contact and stuff, and then all of a sudden, like overnight, it just stopped.
Wow.
After it had decimated like all kinds of people and stuff, and they're wondering like what it is, and kind of like, you know, like it's crazy what's going on here, like the story and the setup and everything, because it comes down to these 2 girls, these sisters and everything as well. Like there's a crazy setup for this first issue, and I really dug it. Kind of looking forward to reading more of these books. But this one's also got like Archangel 8 and Red Border in there, and I think they're kind of building like their own little world here. Their own little universe.
Oh, it's not Upshot. It's Artists, Writers, and Artisans. It's AWA.
Right.
Yeah. I'm getting Archangel 8. I just ordered it online, so I'm just not going to get it the days that it comes out. I'll get it like 2 or 3 weeks later.
Yeah, I pre-ordered that one when I think I did the previews a couple of like last month maybe, because I seen that on there because Michael Morisi's writing that one, and dude, he's an excellent writer.
I have to order them still. I kind of forgot.
Yeah, I got them because
and I didn't think they were all coming out same day.
And then that one right there, Hotel. I wanted to get that one because John Lees is doing that, and he's been writing Mountainhead over on IDW.
Yeah.
And like it was a great horror tale, and I wanted to see where this Hotel went. And then Benjamin
there it is,
doing Year Zero. He's also doing this Devil's Highway as well. So,
yeah, I think this. I think they have a lot of promise. There's been a couple publishers that just showed up over the last like 6 months. Ablaze is one of them. Right. They just showed up, and they seem to have have a solid hand on. TKO Publishing is another one where it doesn't seem like it's just done in the back seat. You're in the back room or something like that. Like they've popped up. The website's nice. The books are nice. The books are shipped on time. They seem to have money to market online, because I keep seeing like TKO and stuff on Instagram and whatnot. Like it feels like 4 or 5 have just popped up. You know what I mean? That look like they're it looks like they've been around for a while. This Artists, Writers, and Artisans looks like it's been around for a while. Right. But it's pretty new. Every time you said Upshot, I keep looking up Upshot. Yeah. And I didn't realize that it was this imprint was AWA.
Yeah, I think it is I think like the main publishers is AWA, and I think maybe Upshot is going to be like their imprint or something. Maybe, I don't know. I'm not really sure, or maybe that's just going to be like their little universe that they're using.
Yeah.
So
I thought that it was just like for those books that they're releasing, their previews books or something. Dylan as Ghost. Did you get that a Blaze book though? The Sumerian?
What? Yeah, I was talking about it. I talked about it just before you got on.
Late or something, bro?
What?
Yeah.
No, I didn't read it yet. I
talked about it. It's lame.
I was gonna read it on digital, but I was gonna order it before I read it.
Yeah, we talked about it just before you got on the stream. It's just there's a Superman swipe right there.
Yeah.
I didn't think it's that good. I mean, my other problem with I can do cartoony
I didn't like the
artists. Art. Yeah, I could do cartoony artists. Like it's pretty, it's violent and stuff. But I could do cartoony artists if it like works for it. Like Dylan Burnett doing Cosmic Ghost Rider was cool. You know what I mean? And like Little Bird had a little bit of a cartoony feel, but this shit was too cartoony for me. Conan needs to have like Ron Garney on it.
Yeah, it gets violent and sexual, I heard.
Yeah, it's not even that. It's not even that sexual, dude. I mean, he fucks Belit in here, and there's not even any boobs or anything like that. Like,
yeah,
it's not that wild.
I saw
like this is as dirty. That's as dirty as it gets, right there.
Yeah, right. So, and she don't even look hot, bro.
Dude, you're gonna get me hot, dude, bro. Whoa.
And then there's some grunts.
Demonetized.
Yeah.
Let's not even get into Money Shot, I guess, this week.
Money Shot was good, though.
Overplay our hand.
Yeah, Money Shot was good. What was it?
Issue over
5, and I'm almost sad that it's coming to an end. It's first story arc, and I'm almost guaranteed there's going to be a second one.
So wait,
that girl is. I mean, I felt like it sold well. I felt like a lot of people were talking about it and reading it and stuff. So
I thought that issue 1 was crazy awesome. I actually still got to read the rest of it, but I kind of want to get it in trade because I'd rather read it in trade and keep reading digital. So I read the first issue digital.
Yeah,
for what?
It's a pretty good series. I like it.
Oh,
so I kind of want to get it in trade. It was it's a really good issue, man.
What about King of Nowhere? What do you guys think of that one?
Oh, I have it. I haven't read it yet.
Oh, okay.
I read it.
Yeah, I will. Is this the Ice Cream Man? This is the Ice Cream Man guy, right?
Yeah.
Did you like it, Dylan?
Yeah, I loved it, man. It was really good. The artwork was, you got it. Like either you're gonna love the artwork or you're gonna hate it. I feel like, but I liked it. I thought it worked well.
No, I love. See, this is the kind of I like real stylized stuff. I mean, I don't know whether this is drawn on an iPad or not. Right, but I like to be tricked with it. There's a lot of indie books that I like. We've talked about this a little bit, like Necromancer's Map. I know me and Trinity both are reading that, where it's like you just feel like they're dialing it in on an iPad artwork. So like this guy, I like that. Just looking at it real quick. Maybe I won't when I read it. Tyler Jenkins, it looks like it is. I like a guy's style. You know what I mean? I like to see how Sam Keith does Wolverine or how Tyler Jenkins writes draws a horror book like this or something like that. So on first glance, I do like the artwork.
Yeah. I was gonna say I definitely like the artwork in it, and sometimes like I said, I mean, for me, a lot of times like the artwork definitely kind of helps tell the story, and I feel like in here the artwork is definitely going to be helping with the story because I think
cool.
With W. Maxwell Prince's other book, Ice Cream Man, the art definitely plays a huge part in that book, man.
Yeah, and that's simple artwork where it works because they it's like that sort of like Beavis and Butthead eyes on everyone. You know what I mean? Like, it works. So normally I don't like that kind of artwork, but in the 3 issues of Ice Cream Man I've read it, it's been perfect. It's been perfect for the tone of it.
Yeah. It really helps. But yeah, like I don't know what it is. It really helps set like this really off-world, kind of creepy tone.
Yeah,
like it makes it feel really, I don't know, weird.
Well, when you first get into it, you almost are like, this is like Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas or something. You know what I mean?
Oh, I'm gonna love that.
Yeah. But the thing is, you find out. I don't know if I should say it because I want to let Chris kind of read it. But you know what I'm saying? He thinks he's on an acid trip. Is basically what it is. You know?
That's basically my that's my autobiography.
Yeah.
I just live life thinking I'm on an acid trip.
Right.
I thought artwork was on point. There was like 1 or 2 parts where he like literally looked like they did like a stick figure. Did you like see that? Like when they did like a small version of somebody getting like thrown around, they literally looked like a stick figure. Let's see. Oh, this was the only one. I was just like, it's a little weird.
He's talking to you, Trinity. I haven't read it yet.
You noticed this when he's like eating, when the iguana is like picks up the sheriff.
Yeah.
I was just like, oh, that was the only thing. I was just like, that was just a little cheesy to do that, like stick figure type guy that like it looked like a kid could draw that.
Right.
But dude, the artwork was definitely fire. I mean, that's one panel. You know what I'm saying? One tiny panel.
Yeah.
But
Definitely.
it was interesting towards the end, man. I was like, you know, kind of had a little cliffhanger ending, you know?
That's the way most books end, Dylan.
Yeah.
The vast majority of comic books, unless it's the last issue, end with a little cliffhanger.
I know. Sometimes though they don't. It's just, I don't know. This week it felt like there was a lot of cliffhanger endings. Like just, I don't know, where you're just. I call it more of a cliffhanger ending where
it's a good cliffhanger.
You know, I want to keep going. Like there's some where you're just like where it ends and you're like, okay, you know what I'm saying? I'll read it when it comes. But this one I was just like, oh shit, what the hell is gonna go on now?
You mean effective at being? You mean an effective cliffhanger, essentially,
yeah.
Right? Like they all end in cliffhanger.
Thank you.
What are you doing?
Thank you, because no, I'm not as good with the words as you.
Who are these people, Chris? Do you read a lot on Oni Press? Have you heard?
I don't read a lot, but I read a couple. I can't remember what right now. I think that Back Driver, that book I showed a couple weeks ago.
Oh yeah. Backtrack.
I think that's Oni.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's Oni.
Oh,
I read one thing that I get every month, and it's been late a little bit. I can't remember what it is now, but Oni is good. For a minute, like a year and a half ago, Oni was Vault. Like people were talking about Oni and stuff.
Right.
You know what I mean? And
now
they're just out there. So what is that one?
Dryad, issue number 1.
Oh,
I didn't read it. It looked interesting though, actually.
Yeah, I mean,
it wasn't that good.
It's hard to say. like, I don't know. There's some things in here about this I kind of like, and some things in here about it I kind of don't.
I just ordered a Oni book the other day on my I put it on my poll. It was called Rogue Planet. Have you heard of that one?
No.
Yeah, that looked cool.
It looked really cool, man. So it kind of gave me like alien vibes, you know. So I was like, let me check this out. I hope it's good.
I think what I something about like books like these, like I don't mind, you know, because one thing I'll say when it comes to indie books, you do what you want. It's your world, you build it, you get to do whatever with your characters what you want. Good on you, man. Like if you're gonna do that, you know, don't do that with pre-established characters, you know, legacy characters. Create your own world, right? Yeah. And I'm not saying any kind of crazy stuff's going on in this book, but it seems like in this book we've got a strong female character, and it seems like anytime you have a strong female character paired with somebody, and if it's a guy, he has to be weak. He can't be strong or anything like that. Where in this book we get, you know, the wife here. This is this guy right here. This is his wife. She's helping. She's a warrior. He's a scholar.
Okay.
And you know, they're here working through things with their marriage, and they're compromising and stuff, just like real world kind of stuff. But it seems like every time we get a story, like if you get a strong female character, the guy has to be weak.
Yeah.
And that's what we get out of this book. Like, I want more than just that. You know what I mean? Why can't she be strong and he be strong and things like that? But of course, it's not a superhero book neither.
Yeah. Why can't he be smart and strong?
But it seems like every time you get the strong female character with the weak male character, they can't both be strong.
Yeah, he's only allowed to be smart.
Right. Yeah, it's weird. Yeah. I mean, when that happens, I have to read that book to know exactly what you're talking about because I haven't read it. You know, but the movie I think about a lot when that happened, where that happens because the star was the female character. They had to do something with the husband who was, you know, he was a big and strong guy, but they made him injured. Was that movie Us? I don't know if you guys watched Us.
Oh, no, I haven't watched that one. I haven't watched that one.
Well, I won't spoil anything with it.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And so that movie is great. I really liked it. Obviously, if you're a chillmonger and you're worried about continuity, there's weird stuff that happens where you're like, that doesn't make sense. But it was a cool ass movie. And you got the husband. He's like, he looked like he's probably like 6'4" or 5", huge guy. But the star is Nita. I can't remember her name now. But the star is her. So in the writing, they had to like injure the husband, and so he spends a lot of the movie injured, hurt or limping around. You know what I mean? And then she's the driver of the film. Yeah. So it's hard. I have to read that Dryad book, but and. You obviously there's a push to make like stronger characters and women and stuff like that. It's like how you do it, right, in general. So I'd have to read that one to know for sure. But if they do it effectively, I'm for it. If they just sort of shove it in there, then I sort of understand where people are coming from a little bit more.
Right. Yeah, and that's the thing. Like I get it, but it seems like there's never like maybe people will call it balance, or maybe they'll call it whatever you will, but it seems like you never have a strong female character there with a strong male character. And and just like Apex is says here is strong females and weak males. That is the SJW agenda. And while I agree there, and I don't completely agree there at the same time. You know what I mean? Like, because and I guess that's kind of what I'm getting at with this is. That's what it seems like. I mean, that would generally be the consensus. Is that's why it's done. Now, I don't feel that's necessarily the case here because I don't really see any of that going on here. But it's almost what seems to be the case when it's presented like that. You know what I mean? And that's kind of why I was asking about Oni Press, because I'm like, is that what they do? Are they known for doing those kind of books? Because I don't really know. They're I wouldn't say a new publisher to me, but I mean, like I've never read any of their books before, so that's why I was asking, because I'm like, because there are places out there like, what is it, Omni, where I believe that's kind of where a little more they are geared towards the blue check marks out there, the weirdos and things like that, the SJW politic kind of stuff.
The Omni, what Omni? What are you talking about? The book Omni?
The Omni Press or something like that, with their books.
No, there's a book. There's a book called Omni, and it's by humanoids.
Humanoids, that's it. That's it. Humanoids, not Omni. Yeah,
they're trying to make. Yeah. I mean, I only read one of those series, and it wasn't that good. But I didn't detect any of that in that series. So, I don't know. I mean, the pendulum's swinging more towards this equality thing, and sometimes it's just not going to work. Sometimes it's going to be forced. I found stuff that's forced sometimes. Right. Or that's only a little bit forced, but it's good aside from that, so.
Right. And that's why I say, like, out of indie comics, I'm completely accepting of that, because I mean that's where you do it at. I mean, you don't go in and just change Batman and all that kind of stuff like we see they've done. Like I said, I'm completely cool with that with indies. That's what they're there for. They're there to serve that purpose for people to put their stories out there and do their diversity or their inclusion or any of that kind of stuff they want to do. That's what it's there for. For me, that's the point of it. But still, even then, we still want good stories. I mean, at least making it a good, interesting story when you're going in and doing some of those kinds of things as well.
I was waiting for the wife to be like, my dad always told me not to marry a pussy like you. That didn't go on in the book. Usually they'll say some shit like that.
Yeah. Air Spider says, it's like my aunt and my uncle. They both work their entire life, but my aunt is the boss and my uncle is her bitch. So maybe Dryad is based on his aunt and uncle.
Hey, maybe if you asked Trinity to join you once in a while, he would be there.
Us was a good movie. Yeah, I was gonna say I still need to see Us, because that was the Jordan.
I like to Get Out better.
I think it was. I think that's fair to say, but it's like they were completely different movies.
True.
It's just because Peele was directing them both. They're so compared. Because I put Us in my top 10 movies because I did enjoy it a lot. And then all everyone did was tell me how much better Get Out was. I was like, yeah, it was better, but I'm doing my top 10 goddamn movies of this year, and Us was still good, even though it wasn't as. Yeah.
No, yeah, I hear you, because it's not. People do compare it like it's a horror movie, but it definitely isn't. It's like a
thriller.
Huh.
Yeah. I mean, Us was a horror movie, but
I didn't
Maybe not a gross
as much, man. It was like it was good, but I didn't like it as much.
Yeah. Well, as much as what? Get Out?
No, I just didn't like Us that much.
Oh.
Like it was good. It was good, but it was just like the thing is, I felt like so many people were like, "Oh my god, this is so amazing! This is so amazing!" And then I watched it, and I was like, "Yeah, it's all right," you know. But see, my real test for Jordan Peele, even though it sucks because he's not directing it, like, is to see what he's gonna do with Candyman since he's writing and producing it. If he screws that up, man, I'm gonna be like, I'm done with you, dog. Like, because he hasn't really done anything that's made me be like, oh my god, he's so amazing. I still think he is dope as hell, like for what he does, but I don't know. Like, Get Out is my favorite out of the two. But Candyman is going to be the one that really does it for me to see if he's really can withstand being a horror, like in the horror community. Because if he messes that up, man, whoo, it's going to be bad.
Before I talk about this one, did anyone even see this? Anyone grab Twin Worlds?
I forget what was the company that put that out.
Action Lab, Danger Zone.
I've never read Action Lab.
Yeah, so I bought this first issue, but then I also got the trade, so I'm not going to get issue 2. I'm trying to decide how I want to do this. Do I want to read first issues because I talk on the fucking internet about this stuff? Or, trades are better and I feel better about indies reading them. I haven't like balanced myself. But then what ends up happening is I still go buy number 2 and then I don't put it in my box. And then number 3 doesn't get put on the shelf. And then I'm like, oh, now I bought 2. I got to wait for the goddamn trade anyway.
Yeah.
So I haven't figured out the way I'm going to read and whether I'm going to switch to trades or not. What I should do is just switch to the library and save $300 a month.
Did you read this?
Billionaire Island. Oh man, that's obviously woke comics, brah. That's obviously.
Yeah, but Mark Russell's a shit.
Think about that. Billionaire Island. All they're going to do is get a bunch of billionaires on an island and say, you know what? You guys owe us your money because you guys are billionaires. You got to spread the wealth. You got to take care of everybody. You got to make sure that Medicare is taken care of, people's health expense.
So good news is that Mark Russell, although he is a very liberal writer, is very, very intelligent the way he does things.
It's nothing like that.
I haven't read it, but I have seen people talking about it. I've never really even heard of that or anything. I don't even think that's coming out.
Well, I mean, he just got done with Second Coming. Weren't you reading that?
Yeah,
Trinity.
Oh,
you weren't reading that?
I love that.
He just got done with Second Coming, and then he's very famous for his Flintstone. He changed the Flintstones.
Really?
He would probably definitely fall into the trigger acronym that people are using in the chat a lot, SJW writer, but he's very intelligent. Stuff is not
he kills.
Stuff's not forced.
I like it.
He did Wonder Twins too. I should have been reading Wonder Twins, but
I'm not into all that. Yeah, Wonder Twins is really good too. But see, I
didn't read it.
Coming and I read the previews for this, so I was like, I like Second Coming a lot. I'm gonna give it a shot. Plus, it's all white comics. I mean, they don't got a lot going on, so I wanted to give it a shot. But it was really good.
Right on.
I don't get into all that SJW stuff, but
me either. Really, like I said, and especially in like indie comics, because like I said, that to me, that's your space to do that kinds of stuff. If you want to tell the stories, you do it in the indie comics. Like I said, I'm completely for that, and I'm also not against seeing and hearing other people's viewpoints on it as well. That doesn't mean that I always agree with them or disagree or anything like that. So yeah, I'm not, like I said, it is what it is. Like I live in the real world. You know what I mean?
Dylan's my favorite though, because he's reading The Mask and Dylan's the only guy that just be like, I think it's political, but all that shit's over my head. The Mask was awesome. Like, you didn't understand it. But if you go to anyone else complaining about The Mask, they hate that writer. Right? But Dylan's like, it's just fucking cool. I think there's political shit in here, but it's just over my head.
There is. I just don't care to talk about it because I don't want to hear people bitching about it because I know they get so serious with it.
Because I think a big thing is like we shouldn't let like those kinds of things ruin our enjoyment of a comic book or a movie or anything like that. If you don't like it, just you stop reading it. You stop you stop whatever it is you got to do. You stop watching, you stop reading any of that kind of stuff. Just stop.
Your money's your best vote anyway.
Yeah.
That's your best. The money you spend on a comic or don't spend is the best vote anyway.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And
If
you know,
I-
it's great because do you guys watch Critical what guy was it Thinking Critical?
Yeah, dude, that I had to stop, man. I probably could go watch it again now, but every other stream was titled "How Much I Hate Tom King." Even when Batman didn't come out, every other stream was like, "Fucking hate Tom." Let's spend 45 minutes hating Tom King. Like it just Thinking Critical got too much for me, but I'm sure if I got on it now, I'd be fine. Like I discovered them before they realized that hating Tom King got them hits. And then we just went into deep hatred of Tom King. Like sometimes they were just getting angry. Like they were just going, I fucking hate this guy. And then the other guy would say the same thing. And then I had to stop. It was the same with like everyone that just, spends a lot of time hating Star Wars. It's the same thing. Like it just got into the muck a little. So I could come back to a lot of those channels now that.
Yeah, as I'm saying, I like watching a lot of their videos because they really talk about a lot of those kinds of things. Like, the other day they did a video where they were talking about all of those kinds of things and voting with your dollars as far as like you like this, you don't like this, read this, don't read that. But they were also talking about like if you don't like something, that doesn't mean that you should just discount it and like pull your money out of the market altogether and say I'm not reading comic books altogether. Like you just redistribute. Like you don't like this comic book, go out and try something else. Try don't just completely discount it. Or and also is it ridiculous for us to not like something and just completely jump off board with it, or should we, is it ridiculous for us to keep buying it in the hopes that it's going to be good? Because that's what I do a lot of times is I'll keep
well, what you just said,
something in the hopes that it's going to be good, because that's ultimately like what I want. Because like Leah Williams for me is one of those perfect examples out there where she was doing some titles that I read and I didn't like her writing style. She was kind of suspect to me, and then she finally did Amazing Mary Jane, and I'm like, okay, like she's coming around. Like it's like everything started to click there.
Yeah. So when you say that, that's fine, and I believe that you do it. But there's a lot of people that keep buying it and say they hope it's going to be good again, and it's not. Like I guarantee you're not going to like if you don't like Tom King, I guarantee you he's not going to change. It's not going to change in the next 10 issues. And you'll hear people saying that. I'm hoping it's going to change. I'm hoping it's going to get better. I had high hopes for City of Bane after the 2 arcs that I didn't like before. And people do that with Star Wars too, right? It's like, so stop watching it or stop buying it. Like you got to just stop already. You know what I mean? And people don't do that. They're not actually doing what you're saying. They're not doing what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Air Spider wasn't on, but I was asked to stop being an asshole earlier in the stream, Air Spider, and I'm only being a hairy tank now.
No, I don't mind the asshole. That's okay. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with the asshole.
I prefer it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Real. That's what it's all about, is keeping it real. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
No. I try to keep it fake as possible. I don't even read comics.
Oh, Air Spider 23
Like
said, I have no clue how these guys that started reading comics in the last 5 years amassed so many subs. Air Spider, bro.
Air Spider.
Fired. Pew, 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 pew.
Listen, this is what Air Spider is. I'm just going to throw it out there. Air Spider is the most opinionated comics guy, except on the left, more on the left. But like, I think as far as I could tell, is
Air Spider
no, opposite. Other way. No, other way, on the other side.
The anti-comic skater.
Sort of, except he's not. You know what I mean? As far as I could tell, I don't know him that well, but as far as I could tell, he grew up in junkyards and shit like that too. You know what I mean? But me and Air Spider agree a lot. He just comes off more mad, and I come off more like an asshole, I guess.
Yeah, no, I've seen Air Spider in plenty of the conversations and everything. I like Air Spider.
No, he's the shit. He's cool.
Yeah. He's cool. And that's the thing is like what I like about most of the comic book community is that most of the people, aside from maybe when you get into CG and all that stuff, like most of the people who read the comics like we're reading, everybody's cool with their opinions, man. Everybody gets along. Everybody's pretty accepting of everybody's opinions, I guess you could say, without being assholes about it. And that's definitely what I like about a lot of the people in the comic book community. And it's funny you're saying you're being civil right now, Chris. About
Who, me?
critical? Are they that like? Because I don't really know. I've really only been getting back into comic books over the last 2 years. Started my channel just like 14, 15 months ago. So I don't really know a whole lot of these people or anything like that. I just come across them, and I like hearing everybody's opinions and things on that, whether I agree with them or not. I like going and watching a bunch of different videos. Like even your
I agree.
Your boy Zach is one of my favorite content creators out there as well. And you know the kind of things he talks about and things he's about, but he's still entertaining to me, and I like watching his stuff. So
Why do so many of them not want to show their faces?
Yeah,
I'm not saying that doesn't happen on the other side.
Nobody knows what they look like. Yeah.
I guess. It seems like there's a higher number of CG guys that don't show their faces for some reason. And I'm not saying like regular, not anything guys don't either, like Metarog or whatever. So I'm not saying it's 100%, but it just seems like, because sometimes I forget, because I'll go watch those videos too. I actually agree with you, Trinity, on the opinion thing, right? But like sometimes I forget who the hell I was watching. Like there's an I Love Comics and there's a We Love Comics. And both of them don't show their face, and I get confused by this shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So all they have to do is reverse their mask, and you're like the same dude,
Right.
Yeah. Yes.
Most of them, I think, wear the same mask though every time. Some of them do switch up their masks, though. I swear. And I'm like,
there's masks. Yeah. There also, if they do show their faces, there's masks. A lot of masks out there.
Ooh! I almost feel like we're talking about somebody I know here.
Maybe. I mean, there's a lot of masks.
There are. And I don't think for all of them, I don't think it's necessarily that they're trying to hide or anything like that. I think maybe they just don't have the budgetary things there to make a good stream. You know what I mean? I don't know.
I don't either. I'm doing this shit from my phone.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, I know, that's what I'm saying, because really easily I could go on anybody for that stuff. Like, you want to hide behind your little camera and all that stuff, but essentially I'm doing the same thing because I'm just behind a computer and a camera as well. You know what I mean? Yeah. So like, I don't know, when it gets into those kinds of things, it gets a little weird to talk about and criticize people in those ways just because they don't want to show their face on camera. You know what I mean? Like the thing I always say is like, you wouldn't have to worry so much about that if you just weren't a fucking asshole to people.
Yeah, that's a big thing. I mean, if we were really, I don't want to make Dylan's head explode. If we were really getting into the nuances of it, I think the Sean Gordon Murphy stuff that's happening right now is interesting, because he doesn't, do you know anything about that?
Not really. I mean,
let's not.
With Zach, and he was talking a little bit about that, but.
You mean Sean Murphy, the guy who writes Batman?
The guy who writes White Knight. Yeah. That's a long story, and I don't have time to talk about that. But he's not a Comicsgate guy, but he's open to him. But he gets shit. So, I mean, Air Spider probably go off on it in the comments in a second here. I got you, Rod. I'm picking up Daredevil. I'm just not reading it.
Me too.
Yeah, I need to catch up. I heard this issue was incredible. I heard this issue was incredible.
Yeah, me too.
19, but I've been like avoiding spoilers. You know what I mean?
Yeah, me too. I haven't read it.
I haven't read any of that, and I probably need to go back, just like with Daredevil and probably even Immortal Hulk, and get those on trades. Because for one, Chip Zdarsky is a great writer anyway. Like I like anything I've read by him, I really do enjoy. Yeah. And I've heard so many people talking about his Daredevil run. Then I hear people talking about this Immortal Hulk run that's going on that's so great, and I'm like, man, one of these days I need to go ahead and check out some of those other series, collect them on trade.
Yeah, Daredevil, everyone talks about. I stopped reading around 6. I missed maybe 2 issues, and then I kept picking them up, but I didn't read it. I got to go find those other issues too. So
yeah, I gotta binge me some Daredevil soon.
Yeah.
Panel members, open invite on my show tonight, says Rod the Rican. All right.
Nice.
Awesome.
I like Rod.
Yeah, make sure you go check out Rod's channel. If you guys are here and haven't been to Rod's channel, you're letting some of the best things in life just pass you all on by.
Seriously.
Yeah, Rod's really cool. He does for those that don't know, he does a show every week highlighting new channels. I think me and Dylan have been on it.
I've been on it.
You've been on it too, talking about new channels. He does open invites a lot. He's one of the cooler guys, and watching him and Perry go back and forth is a lot of fun.
Yes. Oh man, that's funny. Let's see. 1-2 Comic Talks has been working 2 hours longer than expected. Working with Tony the Tiger is not great.
I
Yeah,
need to get me the hell out of here.
Yes, yes.
He's probably like flipping. He's like, get me the hell out of here.
Evil Ernie is one of my favorite. What's Evil Ernie?
I heard of that.
Evil Ernie is was taking over Earth while Lady Death was fucking around in like hell and stuff. This Chaos Comics.
I've never read it. My boy Metaphorical is always telling me, he's like, you ever see anything Evil Ernie or Evil Ernie on the cover, pick it up. And I was like, it sounds dope as hell. I actually want to get into it though.
It's very metal. It's very old school Brian Pulido. I mean, all that stuff was cool. Yeah, Meta. Someone bought the whole thing on JB's stream one day, and there was a Lady Death and Evil Ernie, and because he's on the stream, he has no lag.
Yeah,
and he got the book. Like that keeps happening. Either Biggie or Meta always get my book. That I was like, oh, that's the one I'll get for free. Because they have no lag, huh?
Yeah, bangers, huh?
Yeah, but I still have a ton of my Chaos comics from back in the day. I like those a lot better than. He sold it, and now Dynamite has the rights to it, except for Lady Death. He kept Lady Death, so that's why he churns down a lot of those covers. But Dynamite has the rights to all the other characters, so Evil Ernie and Purgatory and stuff. They're doing a crossover with Red Sonja right now. But those old 90s books, dude, there's a lot of them out there. You can find them for pretty cheap. They're pretty cool, and the art is awesome to me. Like, to me, the art's great. Like, there's a lot going on in it and stuff. So I still love reading those books.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to message you after the stream to try to see where I could where I should start and maybe pick up a trade on one of those, because I'd actually like to check that out.
Yeah, I don't even know where to start, dude. It's like a mess. I've always read it out of order, in fact. Yeah.
Sometimes you gotta start linear.
But you could probably there's probably an omnibus out there, to be honest, I'd imagine. So hopefully there is.
All right, well, we've been going here just a little over 90 minutes. Is there anything else you guys want to talk about before we wrap the show up?
Oh, did any of y'all read this? You might have talked about it before the 5 minutes.
No, but that is
Oh, I know. You didn't get it.
What? Did I miss something?
No, man. We talked about this last week.
Yeah, we did.
Aftershock, brother. Aftershock number 1.
We know Chris ain't giving up that extra fight.
Oh. Yeah, I'll wait for the trade.
Oh, he got it. He bit the bullet.
Yeah, he mentioned it like 6 times.
I'm trying to bring you some attention, bro. I'm trying to bring you some attention.
Cardstock, 20 pages, dude. You guys are just letting them suck your blood. I do love Aftershock. It sucks though, because I do love Aftershock. I love the stories. I love the writers on it.
You should have bit the bullet, man. I'm telling you, it seems.
I'll bite the trade. I'll bite the trade bullet.
How much are their trades though? I mean, they're obviously
probably cheaper.
Yeah, it's still gonna be cheaper if you pre-order it. It's gonna be like $10.
The artwork is fantastic.
Yeah, I thought the artwork was pretty good. I thought everything about it. It kind of reminds me of some other stories though as well. It almost reminds me a little bit of Dark Age, sort of, as well as
Westworld.
Cyberpunk at the same time.
Yeah, at first I was thinking Westworld, but it's not really anything like that at all. But for some reason, I was thinking it was going to be like Westworld.
Yeah, it's definitely. I like the idea and the premise of it. But I thought it was a pretty good book. The one thing, and I'm going to save that for my comic book review of in the future, because there is something about the book. I'm like, okay, like I'm okay with this, but it's getting a little bit old where everybody is starting to do this thing in their books now, and maybe it's Marvel's fault. All them fucking white pages and all them goddamn X books that everybody just thinks it's okay to just fucking make pages and pages upon fucking text with no pictures in there.
There's 24 pages.
It's getting a little
24.
No,
I
I'm
know.
not.
I'm at the point where I'm not even reading those white pages because I'm getting so pissed by them. Like, it depends on the book, like, and it depends how I'm feeling at the moment.
Yeah.
24 pages with actual ink. Then they got like all these letters in the back.
Yeah.
Then they got like what is that? 2, 4.
Yeah.
4 pages of letters, but 24 pages. I mean, they beat the 20. I guess they beat the 20. This one was worth the 4 extra pages, I guess.
But you look like you got something to say, Chris.
I want to read it. I don't hate it. I'm voting with my dollars, like we just said. No, none of this cardstock crap for the same size book.
Yeah. I hear you. I get it.
Give me. I
knew you were going to yell at us and reprimand us for spending that extra $1, man. I knew it.
No, you can't. I'm just not going to do it.
Off. I get 15% off. So
I'm saying after the 15%, after all that, after the 20%, it's still more than it would be if that same book was a regular cover.
Because then it would be like $320. You know.
More than it should be.
And we should talk Marvel when they do a $5.99 book. There's actually more pages in it.
Right.
Yeah. True.
Yeah, definitely. But all right. Anyway, guys, thank you all so much for being here today. We're going to go ahead and wrap it up. Make sure you check down in the description of this video where you can go subscribe to Chris's channel at Chaos and Comics and even Dylan's channel at Dylan's Comics. Make sure you guys go check them out. The links are down in the description. Don't forget you can become a monthly Patreon supporter here of my channel as well. Over there, I just did a Patreon exclusive live stream just the other day, and I am going to start doing some more live streams exclusively over there on Patreon, not just for Patreon supporters. It will be available, you know, it'll be for free to watch, but only exclusively over there because I'm going to be talking about some things I just don't want to flood the channel here with on my channel. But make sure you go check that out because I'm probably going to have some guests and things on there as well as we talk about, I don't know, maybe some more controversial type of subjects and things over there. It'll be fun. But
Dylan's going to love that one. You should invite Dylan, where it'll just be you talking and Dylan will be on his phone, like Banter said, and be like, oh, shit, this stuff again.
I wasn't on the phone at all today.
He's gonna try to start stripping in front of everybody.
Yeah. Trinity will talk politics, and Dylan will take off an article of clothing.
For super chats.
I'm sensitive about my body.
But you all have a very good day. Thank you all so much for being here, and we'll see you all next week on the Saturday, whatever we decide to call it, next week's show. Later.
Still working on the name.